to use this opportunity to invite you to Taraba State, a nature's gift to the nation, for the 2025 Taraba State.
Good evening. You're welcome to the broadcast of News at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. You can also follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Now, the major headlines. On national news, JAMB admits technical error in 2025 UTME results. Rescheduled exam for over 370,000 candidates. Senate passes 1.783 trillion 2025 FCT budget for second reading amid debates. Rep Jaji raises alarm over escalating insecurity and kidnapping in Zamfara as Lagos government to launch monthly and quarterly rent scheme for low-income earners. International news. Liberian speaker resigned amid political crisis to avert further unrest. Business news. Abia seeks majority stake in EEDC, partners MTN for digital expansion. Entertainment news. Angelique Kidjo celebrated at FAMUA 2025 for musical legacy and advocacy. Sport news. Jannik Sinner advances at Italian Open after return from doping ban. I am Bridget James with the news. The Registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Boards, Professor Ishak Oloyede, has acknowledged technical errors affecting the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination result in some centers, particularly in Lagos and the Southeast. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, he explained that a failure to properly update delivery server by a service provider led to result upload issues for 2,006,610 candidates in Lagos and 173,387 in the Owerri zone. The error was traced to a software patch applied after mock exams revealed to flaw in exam item shuffling. JAMB has apologized for the incident and announced a rescheduled exam for affected candidates beginning May 16th. Stakeholders, including education experts and civil society, were involved in the post-marathon review. Professor Oloyede took full responsibility for the oversight, reiterated the board's commitment to quality assurance, and thanked WAEC for its cooperation in mitigating scheduling conflicts. The Senate has passed the 1.783 trillion naira 2025 statutory budget for the Federal Capital Territory. For second reading, President Bola Tinubu had urged expedited approval to support critical development in the sector like health, agriculture, and employment. The budget allocates 85% to ongoing infrastructure projects and 15% to new initiatives. Despite objections over a procedural consign, the bill advanced after debates and was referred to relevant Senate committees, with a report expected within a week. Aminu Sani Jaji, the House of Representative member for Kaura Namoda, Birnin Magaji in Zamfara State, has raised alarm over escalating insecurity in the state. Speaking at the press conference in Abuja, Jaji described the worsening situations as devastating, with bandits overrunning communities and abducting residents. He revealed that some constituents were recently kidnapped, with a 30 million naira ransom demanded. The former House Committee Chairman on National Security and Intelligence urged federal and state collaboration to restore peace, warning that economic recovery is impossible without security. The Lagos state government has announced plans to introduce monthly and quarterly rent payment option to ease financial pressure on residents, particularly low-income earners. Commissioner for Housing, Moruf Akindaru Fatai, disclosed this during a ministerial briefing marking Governor Sanwo-Olu's second year in office. He said the initiative built on the success of the state rent-to-own scheme and aimed to replace burdensome annual rent demands with more flexible terms. Consultations with landlords and stakeholders are ongoing to address enforcement and payments logistics, with a pilot phase planned in selected areas. The Senate has expressed alarm over a resurgence of Boko Haram attack in Borno and Yobe states, calling for immediate military intervention. During Tuesday's plenary, Senator Mohammed Tahir Maguno reported the killing of at least 12 soldiers in recent attack on Mathi and Gajiram. He warned that the insurgents, now using drones and planting IEDs, are regaining strength and targeting resettled communities. The Senate urged the military high command to deploy more personnel and model equipment to the region and mandated its Army and Air Force committee to ensure compliance. The Arewa youth in Enugu State have criticized Emir Yusuf Sambo II for accepting an appointment as Senior Special Assistant to the Enugu State Governor. In a statement, Group Leader Hamza Buba Gaye said the move compromised the independence of the Emirates Council and undermined the Emir's ability to represent the Hausa community. He urged northern leaders and forum to intervene, warning that the appointment could politically destabilize the community and erode the traditional institution's authority. Former Bayelsa governorship candidate Odinga Eradiri has urged Governor Doye Diri and former Governor Henry Serike Dixon to join the ruling All Progressive Congress, arguing that aligning with the federal government is crucial for the Ijaw nation's political relevance. Eradiri warned that remaining in opposition could politically isolate the Ijaw people and hinder development. He called for strategic realignment, emphasizing that Diri and Dixon's sweep to the APC would secure the Ijaw a stronger voice at the national level and foster infrastructure and manpower growth. The Gombe State Police Command has arrested 20 suspects linked to crimes including rape, robbery, theft, and murder. Police spokesperson Buhari Abdullahi disclosed that arrests were made across the state with recovered weapons and stolen items. Among those detained were individuals involved in motorcycle theft, gang violence, and the rape of a 6-year-old girl. In one case, a suspect allegedly killed a man with a stick, while others attacked a victim with a machete during a robbery. All suspects are under investigations and will be prosecuted upon completion of inquiries. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar has urged Nigerian Air Force personnel to remain resolute in their mission to defend the nation, stating that despite recent gains, the fight against insecurity is ongoing. During an operational visit to troops in Castina as part of the NAF's 61st anniversary, he emphasized the need to sustain momentum in military operations. Abubakar reassured Nigerians of the Air Force readiness and capability, vowing continued airstrike against terrorists and bandits. He also inspected facilities and platforms, reinforcing the Air Force commitment to troops' welfare and national security. The Ebonyi state government says it now generates over 300 million naira monthly from the state's international markets. According to Commissioner for Market Development and Parks, Professor Nwongo Obasi, he attributed the revenue boost to leadership reform and the recovery of 483 illegally occupied shops. Obasi noted that previously some individuals controlled multiple shops without payments, but a new database system has improved transparency. The commissioner also highlighted increased investor interest, especially from Cameroon and shoe dealers in Aba, and emphasized the government's commitment to restructuring markets, improving security, and fostering economic growth. The House of Representatives has called on the federal government to declare a state of emergency on Kano's deteriorating Bompai Sharada and Chalava Industrial Estate, one central to northern Nigerian's manufacturing sector. The motion raised by Honorable Hassan Shehu Hussein highlighted the closure of over 400 industries since 2014 due to poor infrastructure, unreliable power supply, and harsh economic policies. Lawmakers cited the link between job losses and rising insecurity, urging targeted interventions including dedicated credit schemes, infrastructure rehabilitation, and import policy reform. The motion was unanimously adopted with committee tasked to ensure implementation. The Osun State House of Assembly has unanimously passed a vote of confidence in Governor Ademola Adeleke, endorsing him for a second term. All 25 lawmakers present at Tuesday's plenary backed the motion, which was moved by Adewumi Adeyemi and seconded by Taufik Olayiwole. Speaker Adewale Agwedum commended Adeleke's leadership and developmental strides, citing success under his 5-point agenda. Other members praised the governor's character and governance style, with the endorsements coinciding with his 65th birthday. Adeleke, who took office in November 2022, is expected to seek re-election in 2026. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has nominated administrators and members for 18 areas administrative council across the state, in line with the Nasarawa State Local Government Law 2024. The nomination conveyed in a letter dated May 12 to the State Assembly aimed to file leadership positions in the formal development areas. The nominee will undergo screening and confirmation by the House of Representatives. The list includes appointees for councils such as Azara, Kashi Panda, Lafia East, and others, with each council comprising one administrator and multiple members. Several houses were destroyed and residents displaced following a renewed communal clash between Mbaise community in Gwer East and Gwindie community in Koshinsha local government area of Benue State. The violence, which occurred over the weekend, was reportedly a reprisal attack linked to long-standing tension between the communities. Tahide Fiv, media aide to the Kashicha local government chairman, confirmed the incident, noting significant property damage, but no reported casualties. Kashicha local government chairman Tafer Moses Chia condemned the violence during a visit to the area and urged residents to remain calm as the state government works to address the situations. Attempts to reach the police for comments was unsuccessful. The Ekiti state government has terminated a 1.91 billion naira road contract awarded in 2022 for internal roads at Bamidele Oluluwa University, citing the contractor's failure to mobilize to the site. The decision was announced after the State Executive Council meeting in Ado Ekiti. Commissioner for Information Taiwo Olatumbosum said the project will be awarded to a competent contractor due to its importance to the university community. Additionally, the government approved 5,383 billion for expecting rehabilitation works on the Emure-Eporo-Ondo boundary roads and 316.915 million for constructing 6 new security houses at farm settlement to boost agricultural safety. The Torch of Unity for the National Sport Festival will arrive in Ogun State on Thursday, ahead of the games set to begin Friday in Abeokuta. The torch, which toured all 36 states and the FCT since its flag off by President Bola Tinubu on March 26, will be received during a brief ceremony at the Sagamu Interchange. According to the State's Commission for Sports Development, Wasiu Ishaka, the event, dubbed the Gateway Games, is expected to feature over 15,000 athletes competing in 549 events for 2,150 medals. Notably, the 2024 edition introduced a new invited junior athletes, allowing emerging talents to compete nationally alongside senior athletes. The Nigerian Navy has dismantled 9 illegal refineries in Ogba, Egbama, and Doni local government area of Rivers State. The operations conducted by the NNS Pathfinders Tactical Riverine Assault Squadrons team on May 12 uncovered 45 ovens, 30 reservoirs, and 75 pits containing about 60,000 liters of suspected stolen crude oil, 80,000 liters of illegally refined diesel, and 33,000 liters of kerosene. Commander of NNS Pathfinders, Commodore Kajetan Nabuchi Nieku, confirmed the operation was based on credible intelligence. 2 crude oil wellheads with attached symphoning pipes were also discovered and dismantled. No arrests were made as the perpetrators fled to scene. The Navy reiterated its commitment to combating oil theft and protecting Nigerians' energy resources. The Delta State government has assured the safety of 1,802 National Youth Service Corps members posted to the state amidst rising security concern. Speaking at the closing ceremony of the 2025 Batch A Stream 1 orientation course, Governor Sharif Obowori, represented by Commissioner for Youth Development, Tangot Takwiburi, said security agencies, vigilantes, and community leaders are working together to protect corps members. He encouraged private sector support for corps-led development projects and promised recognition for those who demonstrate exceptional service. NYC State Coordinator John Kahi commended the corps members and urged them to integrate into their host communities and maintain peaceful relations. Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele has defended the defections of all federal lawmakers from Kebbi State to the All Progressive Congress, describing it as part of efforts to build a government of national unity. The lawmakers, including Senator Adamu Adero, Yaya Abdullahi, and Garba Maidoki, formally joined the APC in a ceremony at the National Assembly. Witnessed by party leaders and Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris, Bamidele emphasized the move was voluntary and driven by public interest, not aimed at creating a one-party state. He said the APC welcomed members from diverse political backgrounds in the interest of national development and collaboration. The defection marks a significant shift in the political balance, weakening the opposition while further consolidating the APC's hold on power. The federal government witnessed in the trial of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu testified that Ahmed Gulak was killed in 2021 by IPOB members in Imo State during a sit-at-home allegedly declared by Kanu. The witness, identified as BBB, presented Gulak's certified death certificate in court, which was admitted as evidence. The document issued by the Nigerian police in Owerri confirmed Gulak's death by gunshot. The trial continues with cross-examination. The Ondo State Security Network, Omotekun Corps, has rescued 5 kidnapped victims across different locations in the state and prevented the payment of ransom demands totaling between 50 and 100 million naira. Corps Commander Adetunji Adeleye disclosed during a press briefing in Akure that 12 kidnapping attempts were also foiled in border towns over the past 2 weeks. One victim, Emmanuel Adeladu, sustained marched wounds before being rescued along the Ikare-Owo highway, while others were freed along the Ore-Ije-Oje-Lagos route. Adeleye reaffirms the Corps' commitment to working with other security agencies to curb crime in the state. Troops of Operation Fasang Yama repelled a bandit attack on Sabren Sarki village in Isa local government area of Sokoto State late Tuesday night. According to sources, the bandits who stormed the village around 11 p.m. on May 13th in search of food were forced to retreat after a swift military response led to a gun battle. No casualties were reported among soldiers or villagers. Joint patrols have since been intensified in the area to prevent further attack and ensure resident safety. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has emphasized transparency and accountability as key to successful tax reform, citing a rise in the state's internally generated revenue from 800 million naira to 3 billion naira monthly under his administration. Speaking at the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigerian's annual conference in Abuja, Mutfwang attributed the growth to strategic reform and investment. He stressed that effective taxation is vital for national developmental and pledged continued collaboration with federal tax agencies to improve administration. He also invited the institutes to consider hosting future conferences in Plateau State. Health workers in Cross River State have issued a 7-day ultimatum to the state government, threatening to commence an indefinite strike if their demands are not addressed. The ultimatum, effective from May 14, 2025, was issued by the Joint Action Committee of Health Sector Unions. The unions involved includes the Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Polytechnics, and the Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals. The unions are demanding the implementation of a 15% salary differential based on the revised 2024 salary structure. They accuse the state government of failing to honor an agreement reached earlier and express disappointment, stating they had acted in good faith for the benefit of the state. The union warned that failure to address the issue by the end of the ultimatum would result in an indefinite shutdown of the state's health sector. Jigawa State Pilgrim Welfare Board has announced plans to airlift 930 intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia for the year's Hajj. According to the board's sole administrator, Ahmed Umar Labo, all necessary arrangements, including security accommodations near the sacred mosques in Mecca and Medina, have been completed. The airlift will take place between May 18th and 20th, 2025, with Max Airline services handling the transport. Labo urged the pilgrims to be good ambassadors while in Saudi Arabia and to comply with the country's regulation, emphasizing the religious purpose of their journey. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter, has threatened to shut down its service within 21 working days if the state business environment does not improve. During a meeting in Akwa, members expressed concern over inconsistent levies imposed by local governments with amounts ranging from 500,000 naira to unspecified figures, and the non-settlement of bills, particularly for diesel supplied to run street lights over the past 3 years. IPMAN Chairman Mr. Chinedu Anyaso criticized the chaotic levy system, previously handled by the Inland Revenue Service, but now managed by local governments. He also condemned the harassment of members by local officials. The association called for an agreement on a fixed levy and urged the state governments to intervene to prevent further disruption. Chief Linus Mbokogu, Special Advisor to IPMAN National Chairman, echoed this concern, describing the business climate as hostile. Niger State has announced plans to host an inclusive investment summit in 2025, targeting key sectors such as sports, renewable energy, and the environment. The announcement was made by Aminu Suleiman Takuma, Commissioner for Industry, Trade, Investments, and Private Sector Development. During a post-State Executive Council briefing in Mina, Governor Mohammed Umar Bago, known as the former governor, has emphasized that the summit will design to attract diverse investments. The ministry is working on an implementation strategy to ensure the event's success. Takuma also confirmed that the 2025 Niger State Trade Fair would begin on May 20th, with efforts underway to secure broad participation. Additionally, the state is compiling a compendium of investment negotiations to guide future investments, and it's developing a comprehensive investment policy to support informed decision-making. The Oyo State government has approved 4.5 billion in support for victims of the Bojida explosion that occurred on January 16, 2024. The fund will assist survivors with additional support already provided for accommodation, feeding, and medical bills. The government has also revoked 2 properties near the explosion site to build a monument in memory of the victims. Despite previous promises, victims have expressed frustration over delays in fund disbursements and are urging the government to fulfill its commitment. The Kogi State Police arrested 239 criminal suspects and seized various weapons, including AK-47 rifle and ammunition, between February and May 2025. The suspect faced charges such as armed robbery, kidnapping, homicides, and rape. The arrests were part of a broader effort using intelligence-led policing and community collaboration. The police also introduced personnel training to improve their operation and called for continued support from local leaders and residents in combating crime. Report has it that disagreements erupted in the Edo State House of Assembly on May 14, 2025, over the nomination of Oji Ogene as the minority whip by People's Democratic Party. The nomination followed the defections of Yekini Ideye to the All Progressive, creating a vacancy tension arose when Deputy Majority Leader Ade Isibo Ebako questioned the legitimacy of the PDP Caretaker Committee Chairman, Dr. Anthony Azegbemi, and his authority to submit the nomination. This led to a rowdy section with members expressing conflicting views. The Speaker, Blessing Agbebaku, intervened to calm the situation, warning of an adjournment if the disruption continues. 12 councillors in Ikono Let's take a brief commercial break. We'll be right back with more exciting updates on Super Media Television. Please don't go away.
Taraba.
Where my Taraba people? Where we that day? Oh, yeah. Da 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 da. Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Taraba people say, hey, ah. Let me answer with me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, don't.
Welcome back. Coming up next are the international business, sports, and entertainment news. On international news, Liberian House of Representatives Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofor has resigned amid a prolonged leadership crisis that began last October when 47 lawmakers voted for his impeachment over allegations of poor governance and corruption. Although the motion fell short of the constitutionality required 2/3 majority, it triggered a political standoff. A Supreme Court ruling in April upheld Kofor's portion and invalidated the rival functions' actions, citing the need to avoid further unrest and address unpaid staff wages. Kofor stepped down ahead of the House's first sitting since the court's decision. On business news, Abia State has submitted a bid to acquire 60% of the assets of the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company to enhance power distribution in Umuahia and surroundings area. The State Commissioner for Information, Prince Oke Kanu, revealed that negotiations are progressing, with the acquisition set to improve energy delivery across Abia Central and Abia North. Additionally, Abia State has signed a memorandum of understanding with MTN Nigeria for a digital transformation aiming to provide statewide broadband access, 4G and 5G services, and a device ownership scheme for civil servants. The partnership also includes plans for a digital marketplace and improved digital governance. Moreover, the state is set to pilot a solar for health power project supported by the European Union, which will electrify health facilities across Abia. On entertainment news, business born on French-based music icon Angelique Kidjo, a multiple Grammy Award winner, was honored as a special guest at the 2025 Festival of Urban Music in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, widely celebrated for her powerful voice, dynamic performance, and deep commitment to education, culture, and human rights. Kidjo shared the stage with rising talents from across Africa. During the festival, she sat down for an interview to reflect on her music journey, her Pan-African heritage, and her dedication to nurturing the next generation of artists. On sport news, in tennis world, #1 Jannik Sinner continued his strong comeback from a doping suspension with a convincing straight set win over Jasper de Jong, advancing to a round of 16 at the Italian Open in Rome. The match marked his second consecutive victory since returning to competition following a 3-month ban, underlining his determination to regain form and silence critics. Sinner, playing on home soil, looked composed and focused throughout the match, signaling a strong return to the elite level of tennis ahead of the tournament's later round. That's all for this edition of News at 9 p.m. from Psalm TV. Before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. On the national news, JAMB admits technical errors in 2025 UTME result, reschedule exam for over 370,000 candidates. Senate passes 1.783 million naira 2025 FCT budget for second reading amidst debate. Rep. Jaji raises alarm over escalating insecurity and kidnapping in Zamfara as Lagos government to launch monthly and quarterly rent scheme for low-income earners. International news. Liberian speaker resigned amid political crisis to avert further unrest. On business news, Abia seeks majority stake in EEDC, partners MTN for digital expansion. Entertainment news. Angelique Kidjo celebrated at Fame World 2025 for musical legacy and advocacy. Sport news. Jannik Sinner advances at Italian Open after return from doping ban. And before we sign off, remember all eyes remain on Taraba State as Psalm TV in partnering with the Taraba State Ministry of Information Reorientation presents a compelling 7-day documentary series titled Come to Taraba, Invest in Taraba, coming on air every day at 8 p.m. from May 14th to May 21st, 2025. The series unveils the hidden wealth of opportunities scatters across Taraba's 16 local government areas, Nigerians' best-kept economic secrets. Watch via free-to-air, strong, CSAT or NISAT decoders. Taraba is calling. The moment to answer is now. Stay tuned for more lineup of programs from Psalm TV. You can also follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV, and we are also on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. I remain Bridget James. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.